All right, it's obvious that we have our sweatshirts on, Mark and Rachel and I and Titi Lori, as we celebrate Viola's birthday. Go ahead, clap it out. These days are no more special or no less special. I think about her all the time, right? Yeah. I know it's grief when I see the lady driving by me and I think it's my mother, but I know it's not her. Amen? But we do not grieve like other people grieve. Can I get an amen? Amen. Listen, because I know one day I will see her again. Amen? Because God is true. Every word that He has spoken to us is 100% true. And I believe that we'll see Him and I will see her a day when we leave this earth and we leave our bodies. But while we might shed a tear, listen, there is joy in my heart in the example of the life that she lived. Amen? Amen. Amen. Go ahead, clap it out. When my morning reflection is on, I'm going to get a little bit rougher, right? So I hope you felt all the love at the beginning, because I'm going to get more love, but there's some instruction. I'm still in the book of Galatians for my personal Bible study. Listen, if you are not in your personal Bible study, I'm encouraging you to get involved in your own Bible study every morning. It's like, I call it my fresh orange juice, amen? So that I can hear a word from the Lord every day. I'm in the book of Galatians, and this is the verse that I came across. And it's Galatians 5:15, and this is what it says. But if you are always biting and devouring one another, watch out, beware of destroying one another. Say amen, church. But if you are always biting and devouring one another, watch out, beware of destroying one another. And before anyone says, I got a couple things I want to say. Before anyone thinks it has anything that's negative, I want to let you know it's positive because it wants us to love each other. Say love each other.
Love each other.
That verse is telling you what not to do and what we should do. Amen?
Amen.
And this is what I was doing some Bible study throughout the week. Do you know that there are 31,102 verses in the Bible? Anybody knew that? I Googled it, and so it must be true. There are 31,000 verses in the Bible, and I said, Lord, why you give me that verse now when you probably should have given it to me last year as our church was going through stuff? And you know what? What I got the answer to that? He said, well, because you didn't have a good example of what not loving each other would do. I'll say that again. He said you had no example of what it is when people don't love each other, when people bite at each other. And so I was at the farm show with my two beautiful daughters, and sometime throughout that day, they started biting at each other. So I got a little example. That verse says, stop biting at each other, otherwise you will be completely destroyed. You'll destroy each other. And the example was, and I think every family does that, I told them if they didn't stop, if they didn't start getting along, we're leaving the farm show and I'm not buying another thing. We are brothers and sisters in Christ. Amen? Listen, I am going to love you because we are all we have. And the biting part is, oh, I'm going to lacerate you with my words. I'm going to score. Listen, when I go to Rachel's house after church, she puts some food in front of me and I bite it. That food is so good, I devour it and it's gone. If you continue to bite with each other, this church will be gone. Say amen. And so the Lord said, I didn't show you this last year because you didn't have an example of what it's like for people to bite at each other. Amen? So we have to continue to learn to love one another and to hold each other up, because if we bite each other, we will be destroyed.
Great.
Yep. The sheep should be afraid of the wolf. Say amen, church. The sheep should be afraid of the wolf. The sheep should not be afraid of other sheep.
Amen.
The sheep should not be afraid of another sheep. Listen, if to love one another. Learn to care for one another. Learn to take the time to say, how you doing? How can I help you? What are you struggling with? What can I pray for you? How can I help? If we don't take that time, it'll be ruined and there'll be nothing left. I said, Lord, why don't you give me an easier word to talk about? He said, because this is what we need. We need, the word is that we need to learn to love each other. Not tolerate. Say amen. Amen. Don't tolerate me. No, learn to love me and all of my brokenness the same way I'm loving you in your brokenness. Amen. Listen, learn to tell me the truth. Learn to talk to me with kindness. I've seen people obliterate each other. Say, well, I just want to let you know the truth, and then just cut each other. No, with kindness and love, tell me the truth. So that we can survive. So that we will remain. That word for destroy, it reminded me just of what Pastor Mark preached about last week in John 10. The enemy has come to steal, kill, and destroy. Let's not do his work for him. Let's not do his work for him. Let's stand opposed. And the best opposition to the enemy of our soul is love. That's the strongest. Go ahead. That's the strongest weapon that we have for the enemy who looks to devour and destroy is loving one another. Amen. I saw a picture of two deer and they were locked in battle. And the battle never ended until both of those deer were dead. Right? Neither one of them won anything. It was destroyed. Let's not let the enemy destroy this. Every second that you get a chance to interact with one of your brothers and sisters, let it be filled with love.